Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And Jacques Nienaber has just named his side for the second test against the All Blacks that will take place at Ellis Park this weekend. And on the back of one of the most dominant Springbok performances against the All Blacks in recent history, the Springboks will be looking to try and go 2-0 up against their old rivals and really sort of put the sword to a struggling All Black side where so many rumours are flying around, so much pressure on players, on coaches, and the Springboks could really, put themselves in pole position to win the Rugby Championship if they were to beat the All Blacks this weekend in a stadium where the Springboks generally do thrive. So it should be a very interesting test. A couple of big names coming back for the Boks, as well as a couple of big names missing. So before we look at the team, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We'll have the Springbok press conference up from Jacques Nienaber, where he will be explaining these changes later, as well as we'll be talking about the various changes and what to expect this weekend throughout the week. Now, in terms of the team, this is how we will line up this weekend. Now, obviously, there will be no Kirkley Orense, who has been given a 4-week suspension from rugby, which means that he will not be available until the final test of the Rugby Championship in September, although he has actually been released from the squad. In his place, the exciting under-20 Bok wing Caden Moody's been added to the squad, which is very exciting for him. But this weekend, we will see KRIEL in the number 14 jersey. However, the big news is probably the fact that VERMEULEN is back. He is fit and he is starting this weekend. So if you look at the teams over there, 1 through 15, there's a start at Lucid. Oxenchair comes in and Trevor Nyakane gets the weekend off, which is just a demonstration of just how good the Springbok depth is at front row. The fact that you can leave out Trevor Nyakane, who I thought had a very good game last weekend, and bring in Oxenchair, who's now fit and fresh and ready to fight, ready to try and prove a point. Bongi Manambi is back here in the starting lineup. Malcolm Marx drops down to the bench, as has been the norm over the last year or two. Frans Malherbe, off the back of a terrific performance, starts at tight head. Even Etzebeth Lutiaga, the two locks continue the combination. And Siya Khaleesi, Pierce Jeff Latoya are joined by Dwayne Vermeulen in what is probably, if everybody's playing well, our best loose trio we can put out. I don't think the scrum gets much better, to be honest. I don't think we can get any better than what we've currently got in that top 8 in terms of everyone's playing at their best. Obviously, 6 for one, half dozen for the other. For example, like a Trevor in for an Oxenchair. I don't think there's much difference between them. One's more sort of a ball carrying threat. One's probably better on the defense. Both very good scrummagers. Jaden Hendricks, on the back of an incredibly impressive performance and a composed performance last weekend, does start in the number 9 ahead of Faf de Klerk, who will probably not be available for the foreseeable future after that sort of concussion. Might be able to see him in the sort of the Australia test at a push. Andre Pollard continues to 10 after another very impressive performance. Marcus Oloma Pimpy, Damon Delaney, Lukanya and then KRIEL comes into the 14, which is the selection we actually probably expected last weekend, but he will get an opportunity this weekend. Daniel Willems will continue to look his fine form at 15. Off the bench, Malcolm Marx, Steven Kitsoff, Vincent Koch, Franco Mostert, Jasper Wiese, and Kwagga Smith are the bomb squad. Which is quite expected because last year, as soon as Dwayne Vermeulen came back, we did see Jasper Wiese then go and sort of form part of the bomb squad. And I think that's a very good role for Jasper Wiese because when the game gets a bit also sort of broken up and players a bit more tired, to have somebody like him who's an aggressive ball carrier, very confrontational, I think he will really start to batter people in the latter stages of the game. So a bit of a different role for him, but I think one that will actually suit him a lot. And Herschel Jantjies, Billy Leroux. Now we've been sort of really playing around, with the 6-2 in terms of it's almost kind of short quite a few times because we have lost players quite early on. And we saw a whole backline shift against Wales in that third test with the Kanya onto the wing, Damon Delaney at outside centre, Willems into 12. And last week, we also saw the issues with the 6-2 split and the fact that we could only put Billy Leroux on in the 79th minute because we couldn't afford to have an injury and then suddenly have players playing out of position after losing Faf de Klerk early on. So it is still quite a bit of a risk, but the Springbok coaches have weighed up the risk and said, you know what, we can back Kwagga Smith on the wing, for example, if we need to, but the impact that the bomb squad brings on in the second half is worth the risk. Herschel Jantjies, a massive game for him. He has fallen down the pecking order. Jaden Hendricks has definitely stepped ahead of him, and we've often seen Kobus Reinach when he's fit, which is, by the way, he's not. In theory, Australia will be the earliest that he'll be able to be selected. He tends to start when Faf de Klerk doesn't play. So Jaden Hendricks suddenly sort of elevated himself to number 2, Kobus Reinach in and around this sort of at second or third choice. So Herschel Jantjies was falling quite down the pecking order. Now it's a big opportunity for him this weekend to go out and say, listen, you can't forget about me. I was there in the World Cup. I helped win the World Cup. I should still be within the reckoning, but he needs to come to the party. Overall, it's a very solid side. Big losses in Faf de Klerk, and no Kurt Lawrence and no sort of Ches and Colby, but it's still a very good side. And I think Jesse Creel will very much step up from a physical point of view. People worried about him in the air. I think he'll be fine in the air. He is a former fullback. Maybe not quite the same type of player as Kurt Lawrence, but he's definitely got his own sort of attributes that he can bring to the game. Let me know what you think of the team down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.